Hi, my name is Mario Braga and I'm RANE's analyst for Latin America, and this is RANE's quick take on Brazil's defense diversification. Brazil does not have concerns of a military conflict apart from neighboring Venezuela. Its defense strategy comprises four main pillars. The first one is the regional leadership in South America. The second one is an strategic autonomy vis-à-vis global powers. The third is the boosting of its domestic manufacturing industry in the defense sector. And the fourth is protecting its borders and its national resources, such as the Amazon, for instance. But geopolitical dynamics have changed these long-term established rules for the defense sector. And ongoing crises, especially with the United States and Israel, may lead the country to diversify its defense strategy in the coming years. The triggers and catalysts that have led to that new dynamic are, first, in the case of the United States, the 50% tariffs that Washington has imposed on some Brazilian goods, and in the case of Israel, Brazilia's strong opposition to the military incursion in Gaza over the past 2 years. So strained relations in both cases will likely result in Brasilia reducing its military ties with both the United States and Israel in the coming years. At the same time, while the country positioned itself as a leader of the Global South, it has increased cooperation within the BRICS and especially with China. So beyond the trading of commodities and infrastructure investments, both countries have also become increasingly close from the military aspect. There is a state-owned Chinese company that is interested in acquiring a Brazilian defense and aerospace firm that is under Chapter 11-like protections. And at the same time, Brazil would allow Chinese companies to use one of its military bases near the equator to launch, for example, low orbit satellites. In addition to partners that are willing to invest in the boosting of the domestic arms manufacturing, Brazil is also interested and has historically favored counterparts that are willing to share technology. Technology transfer was a main driver behind Brazil's 2014 decision to pick the Swedish jet Gripen. And by the end of the year, the first jet entirely manufactured in Brazil is scheduled to take off. There has been growing cooperation between both Brazil and Sweden that includes the sale of a Brazilian transport aircraft to the Swedish Army. There are several other NATO countries that are also acquiring this same aircraft, while the Brazilian manufacturer Embraer is considering producing parts or even a final assembly in Poland to increase the stickiness of the supply chain in Europe. Strengthening ties with Middle Eastern countries is another alternative in Brazilia's diversification push. The United Arab Emirates is already among one of Brazil's main purchasers of military equipment, and one of its defense conglomerate has invested more than $600 million in Brazilian companies. We know that Brazil may be reluctant in seeking more ties with countries that have blocked the exports of arms or components to third countries. That's the case of Germany, for example. But at the same time, Brazil's reluctance in providing ammunition for European allies to use in the conflict in Ukraine in an attempt not to displease Russia may become a deal breaker with these European partners as well. That said, this outlook may change depending on the results of Brazil's general elections in 2026.